Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. All I can say is, if you see, no, I didn't cut my hair. My hair's still there. I just have it in a ponytail and tucked under this hat because it's hot. I'm in zone 7A. For those that are new, I'm in Tennessee. And today the temperatures got up to like 95 and it's supposed to be 96, I think, for the next couple of days. So we have gone from like 87-ish to like 95 and we can feel it. It is hot. I'm sure the plants are loving it. And we have had very little rain in the last 3 days. We had rain for 3 weeks. It rained a little bit last night, but not too bad. So the plants are loving it. But for those who've been watching, I still don't have air in my house. One of the storms from last week completely burned up our AC. It's been 8 days. They've ordered the part, but they had a hard time finding the part because of supply issues. They ordered the part, so they say, but they don't have a ship date yet. So I don't know when I'm going to get air. It's not going to be this week, obviously. But supply issues, labor issues, they don't have a ship date. Don't know when we're going to get it. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about today. I gave myself permission to come out here and water my stuff because it needed to be watered. But if that's all I did, that was going to be enough. I gave myself permission to do that. It actually feels cooler out here than it does in my house. But I just don't have a lot of energy today because the heat just drains you. And I am thankful because we do have a sunroom that has air. So I'm able to work in there during the daytime. But once the kids get up and everybody's like up and moving, it's really hard for all four of us to be in the sunroom because everybody wants some air, and I get it. I completely understand. And last night was the first night my daughter, she said I could not sleep. It was just too hot. Here lately, the temperatures in the daytime have been around 85 to 88. And at night, it's been like 69 to 72, which has been bearable at night that we can, go to sleep. But last night, it was like maybe 75, 76. And it's just so funny how that 4 degrees difference made all the difference, because last night was the first night. It took me a long time to go to sleep and I did not sleep well. But that's neither here nor there. So I turned on the camera for a little bit of accountability that I'm like, maybe if I talk to the people, maybe I'll get the energy and maybe I'll get into it. So we're going to see. If you see this video, that means y'all did your job. You gave me life. If you don't see this video, then you'll never know. Okay. But I'm in the back of the house. I'm watering. Where we left off before I went out of town, I showed you the back of the house. And I was telling you that I was doing some heavy pruning back here. And I was telling you that I saw some aphids. So before I had to go out of town, before I went out of town, I sprayed some neem oil through my backpack sprayer on the plants. And so it's been about 72 hours since I've seen them. They still are upright, which is good, because I did it in the morning before I left. And it was probably like, I don't know, 8-ish, and the temperature was like 72. And I was a little nervous because I knew the temperature was going to rise quickly. And you never want to do fertilizer in the heat of the day. You want to do fertilizer early in the morning or late in the evening, kind of like it is now. But I knew that if I didn't, I would come back and maybe the aphids would have taken over even more. And I couldn't trust that somebody was going to do it for me while I was gone. So I took a chance. But I came back. I still see green. And while I was gone, my husband and son got the trellis up for the cucumber. So I wanted to show you that. So let me turn the camera around and show you what's going on back here. Hey, look, y'all. So my husband and son got the trellis up for me while I was gone. This is the cucumber bed. You can see they definitely need a trellis. So I'm going to try to stand these up on the trellis. The trellis is on the outside of the cucumbers. I wasn't here, so I couldn't really direct traffic. I would have put the cucumbers on the outside and then put the trellis at the back of the cucumbers, if that makes sense. So let me see if I can actually get these on the trellis, because this is a bit backwards from what I wanted, but you can't complain for help. So, and I saw a cucumber, which is wild because when I left, there were no cucumbers. There's lots of flowers. So let's see what we can do. Wow. Wow, cucumbers itch. Okay. I did the best that I could. Do as I say, not as I do. Hang your trellises before your plants get to the point where they need the trellis. It'll be much easier that as they're growing, you can go ahead and train them on the trellis versus they're already wild, tangled together. And yeah, it was hard to untangle. And because the trellis is on the back side of the cucumbers, I feel like the only way for me to really get it is to stand in the bed and walk through it. And I don't want to do that. My husband may be able to do it because he has longer arms. So I did the best that I could. Some of them are hung up, some of them are not. But that was the best I could do. We've been wanting to put that trellis in, but you know, time, y'all, time is the enemy. That has me itching. And y'all, I am pouring sweat. What did I do with my water? I need to go get some water. Hold the phone, y'all. Okay, I'm back. So this is the bed that we didn't get pruned. This is the bed that's heavily infested with aphids. Let me see if I can bring you closer. Y'all can see all that? They're everywhere. Everywhere. Covered. So the plants haven't gotten any worse, but it's certainly not gone after one treatment. So y'all see it? They're everywhere. They are literally covered. So I'm gonna try and prune. Oh, I see a tomato. I'm gonna try and prune. I'm gonna try to prune because it's just one big mess, to see if I can just at least get some airflow through here. And then of course I'll spray again with my stuff. But before I spray again, I'm gonna see if I can prune without getting them all on me and itching and all that. Let's see what I can do. Okay, y'all, when I tell you that those plants are covered, they are covered. There, look, you can see. Here are the things that I know where I push the limits. One, it's been raining, which I didn't push the limits. That's nature. I can't control nature. It's been raining for 3 weeks, so they haven't been able to be pruned. So not pruning is one area. The bed is too heavily planted. I did not leave enough spacing in between the tomatoes. That's another thing where I pushed the limits, and that's probably causing some of the aphids problem. The thing is that the plants right now are still green. They still have tomatoes on them, and they still look good. I don't see any curling. I don't see any signs, but when I tell you they're covered, they're covered. And then I wanted to ask you guys this, because I don't know what this is, if it's anything. Let me grab it. So, y'all, what does this right here mean? These little, got my gloves on. These little white things here, like I've never seen that on my tomato plants. What do those little things mean? Does that mean anything? I pulled up plenty of tomato plants and I've never seen that. These things are covered. Like, can y'all see that? I just went ahead and pulled that one because even if I prune, they're too heavily planted. And again, these are, when I say extra, meaning it's my second succession. So that's why I pushed the limits, because I had them and I didn't want to throw the seedlings away. But also, if I have to take some out, I'm not going to be too upset about it. You see, those even had tomatoes on it. But that particular plant that I showed you was like laying, part of the root was laying on the ground sideways. My dog just came and sat on my camera tripod legs. Okay. It was laying sideways in the dirt, almost like it was developing a new root. But I have those little white things on a lot of my tomato plants that's not doing that. So I don't know what that is. It's almost like little, I don't know, not teeth, but it's like these little white things. Y'all tell me what it is, because I don't know. I've never seen that before. And it could be nothing, or it could be something. But let me know if you know what it means or what it is. So I've opened up some space. I'll show you, because I pulled 2 big plants out. Ultimately, that's not what I wanted to do. But y'all, I can't, it's so thick, I can't even see. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Prune your stuff. And then also remember, in this bed, I had indeterminate and determinate tomatoes. The determinants, I think, were definitely in the middle, but I think I had some on the outside as well. So you don't really want to prune those. And so this particular plant that came out, it was like going every which way. It was covered with stuff. I couldn't get to anything. And then there was a piece of it just like laying flat, like almost like rerooting. I don't know if I'm making sense, but let me show you so far. So that's the spot where that plant was. You see how much space that opened up, but it's still a lot. I'm gonna keep trying to prune a little bit more. Hey y'all, I'm at a loss. So that's one plant. Let me show you. All of this is one plant. This is another plant. Okay, y'all, I'm at a loss. I don't even know what to do. For somebody who likes order, you know, this is tipping me the other way. This is such a mess. I can't hardly tell what plant belongs to what. I accidentally cut the wrong stem, the main stem, and so I had to pull one of the plants up. They're all so tangled. They're all so covered with aphids. The one that I showed you is like big and wild, and that's in the middle, which I thought all of the middle ones were of a determinate variety and a bush variety, but that one doesn't have the growing habit of a bush. It's like just, I don't know. I don't know if I just let them be, and if the tomatoes turn red, take the tomatoes and count it as a win. I don't know if I pull them up. I just don't know. It's so hard to manage. I'm itching. Y'all, help. Help. I don't even know what to do. Let me take you back over here. The camera is not doing it justice. I don't think on your end it looks nearly as messy and all together as it really is. Like, they're like just all tangled up. That goes with that. Let me see if I can take you off the tripod. That's a plant. That's a plant. That's a plant. I mean, covered, y'all. But I can't even, and I got tomatoes. Like, you can see I got tomatoes there. I got tomatoes on quite a few of these, but I just can't make sense of them to try to stake them, pull them up. Like, this one right here is all one big, y'all see all those tomatoes? I hate to let them go. Then you see those little white things just hanging down. What are those, y'all? I can't even hardly stand this one up. Look at that. Look what I just found. I don't even know what kind of insect that is. Okay, y'all. I sit there and said some good stuff to y'all and didn't even have the camera on. Y'all, I'm calling it. This is it. I need your help. Put your suggestions down below. I want to know what the little black furry thing was. I want to know what those little white teeth things are. I want to know if you have any suggestions about this just tangled up mess. Like, how can I fix it? I've already pulled some plants out, which hurt my heart a little bit, but I didn't see a way for them to coexist. I mean, there are two, and again, I did that because I was pushing the limits, and I don't regret pushing the limits, because that's how you learn. And when I push the limits in my garden, it's my garden, so it's not affecting anybody. And I push the limits in places where I know that I can. So this is my second succession of tomatoes. I would not have done this in my tunnel, and those were the tomatoes I was dependent on. Right now, when I planted these, I thought I was going to be dependent on these tomatoes because of the aphid infestation in my tunnel. But I'm having tomatoes now. I'm not saying that, you know, we're at abundant stage. I mean, we're getting pretty good on the tomatoes, but and plus I got more tomatoes to put out. But I say all that to say that I don't regret pushing the limits, because again, that's how I'm going to learn. And I know, okay, that was a little bit too much densely planted. That was a little bit too long to go without pruning. I got to do a much better job of either labeling or recording what I put, because none of my labels are in there. So I don't know what's a determinate, what's an indeterminate. The ones that I thought were determinate are not behaving like a determinate. Although I haven't planted many determinates, so maybe the bush is tall and not short. I don't know. I have a lot of questions today and not a lot of answers. But I don't come on here to give you all the answers. I come on here to show you my journey. And whatever pieces and parts help you, amen. To God be the glory. And the parts that don't help you, then y'all help me, right? Put me some comments down below. Give me any tips, tricks, comments. Would love to see it. If you like what you're seeing on my channel, and especially if you're new, it's not like this every day. It's like this some days, because this is real life. But if you like what you're seeing on my channel, I would love for you to subscribe, tell a neighbor, tell a friend. But remember, gardening is a journey. Above all, let us grow together. I can't wait to see you next time, friend. Bye for now.